What is up, you guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we are finally doing a makeup tutorial. I told you we'd get here. If you can hear my future father-in-law mowing the lawn or hear music in the background, I'm sorry, we have a full house. It's wedding weekend for Cody's brothers and his fiance, so hear any of that in the background, I'm sorry. But we're gonna move forward and do a makeup tutorial. Normally I start off with my base, but since we're gonna do probably a more colorful eye, we're gonna start with my eyes. So we're gonna take the MAC Painterly's Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. And we're gonna put that on my eyelids. So let me zoom you in. Now that you're zoomed in, I'm gonna take my e.l.f. face sponge, dip it into my Painterly's Paint Pot, and go right over the eye. We're pretty much just blocking out any veins, any discoloration, taking that into the center of your eye and moving out. That way we got pretty much a perfect base. We just do that until we're happy with what we got, and then we do the other eye. So now that that's done, we're gonna go into the Morphe 35S palette, Sweet Oasis, and we're gonna play with some colors. So I think the first thing I'm gonna go into is El Fresco, which is this color right here, and we're gonna set our eyes. And for that, I am using a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH30 brush, which is pretty much just a giant crease brush. Dipping it in, patting it all around, and then kicking off the kick up, because we don't want that all over. Thankfully, we're not doing our face yet, so we can be a little messy if we need to, but we're not gonna do that. So we're just gonna take it, tap all over to set the Painterly's Paint Pot. Some people, you don't have to do this. I do sometimes just to be careful, especially if I'm using colors. I'm like, okay, let's set so none of these get patchy, because if you have a wet spot in any part of your eye, you're gonna catch the eyeshadow. Then we're just gonna blend in small circular motions, moving back and forth in a windshield wiper motion until you got a smooth thing. Then just tap on the eyelid. Any remnants of the shadow you just put down will pack there. So that eye's done. Now let's do the other one. This is just the easiest way to blend a shadow into your eye, and you'll see when we go forward that it makes a blend effortless. Make sure you get the inner. And there's that. Now we're gonna move on to the next color. Now with the Sigma E40, which is just a more tapered blending brush. I think that's pretty much what this is called. Yep, tapered blending. We're gonna go in with Love Struck, this one right here, this pale pink. Swirl in there, tap off. And let's get blending. Small circular motions. I start from the outside in, that way the most colors would be here. But you can do whatever you want, whatever shape you want. I have slightly hooded eyes, and I like to wing out my shadow. And you'll see why, because it elongates my eye and makes it look more open. I have big eyes anyway, so anything to make my face not look so bug-eyed. Well, I don't look bug-eyed, but people with third eyes, you know what I mean. Pretty much just building up this color. It's so pale. And we didn't use like the P. Louise white base, which typically what I use for pastel colors, but that's not what we're going for this look. We're just building this color in our crease. Takes a few swipes, but you can see it's showing up slowly. Especially since we're not packing it on, we're just making a light blend so that our shadows we put on next show up. Some people like to start from the middle, like put their first impact color here, and they go back and forth, and then they kind of bring it out, bring it in. But I just like, for my eye shape and how I like to do my looks, I start from the outside and move my way in. Personal preference. Okay, next we're gonna go into a slightly darker shade of pink, which is gonna be this Private Villa color right here. And we're gonna go in with the Morphe M442, which is just a more domed blending brush. It looks dirty, there's nothing on it. It's just stained. Going into the color, tapping off, and we're gonna start in the middle this time so we can get the color everywhere. So you can tap it on and start moving back and forth in windshield wiper motions, lifting and patting as you're doing it, and then start doing some small circulars. And don't be afraid if you have larger eyes to bring it closer to your brow bone or not. I tend to try to get closer to here so it opens up my eye, but then I leave a sliver here for a highlight at the end. You'll see what I mean as we get going, but don't be afraid to push your shadow up to your brow bone. You just want to leave the spot open, and if you don't, you can fix that later on with the highlighting. Do not worry. And then as you can see, I'm like winging it out in like a V shape, because that makes my eye look, as you can see, it's like lifting my eye, because I try to wing it out this way. So, and then I'm gonna go in for more. This color's kind of looking patchy right now, but I'm going in with small amounts of pigment and not a lot. I'd rather go in with less and build up than start with a lot and be like, oh crap, now it's gonna take me forever to blend this all out and make it look good. Don't be afraid to start and go small. It's easier to put on than to take away. Okay, so there's that eye. I'm gonna do the same to this eye. And don't worry if anything of this gets missed when we put our foundation and stuff on, because we can always fix this part. Don't worry too much about that. So there's the base for how we're gonna wing it out. Now we're gonna go in with a smaller define brush. And what I mean by that is we're gonna go in with the Morphe M507, which is a really small precision blender. And I think the color we're gonna go in with is Picture Perfect, which is this lovely purple color. We're gonna go in with that. We're gonna go in, swirl our brush, and then make sure to really tap off, because this is the part we don't want to mess up. So if I look down as I'm doing this, I'll still explain it, but I need to see what I'm doing in this little mirror that's below me. So what we're doing, we're defining an outer edge, because we're going to kind of do like a half cut crease. You'll see, or we're going to do a halo, but more than likely we're going to do a half cut crease. So what we're doing is we're going to define my lid space. So you see I have hooded eyes, so mine, you can't see the rest of it. So when I open, you can see everything. But when I close, you can't. So we're gonna try to build a cut crease above my eyelids so that way even when my eyes are open, you still see what's above. We're gonna do that. So I start in the middle. See? So when I open, you can still see it. So we're just following that and blending down. We're just pretty much packing the color in as we can, going in for more as we need it, because when we blend this out, it's gonna be gone. We're not gone, but with these kind of brushes you need to put a lot down in order for when you blend it doesn't all disappear into nothing, and then you have to keep reapplying. Follow your eye shape, see? There we go. We're getting there. So we just keep going, building the shape. Raise your eye. If you have hooded eyes like me, you have wrinkles, so just raise them so you can get in between any spaces you're missing. And really get in there. We're gonna do the same to the other eye, and then we're gonna blend it. Okay, so now that we got this shape, we're gonna go back in with the Sigma tapered blender. And we're just gonna do small little halos. Or not halos, but you know, small circular motions along it. Not dragging it out, but within where you did it. And we're just blending it. Blending the edges so it's not so rough and you can see between the two. Slowly go back and forth until you're happy with the blend. And if that's not working as well, you can do a little windshield wiper at the edges to make it blend a little faster and drag it out a little bit, which is what I'm doing at the edge over here. But do whatever works for your shape. Some people like the half moon because it works good for their eye shape. The flared out works better for me, so hence why I'm dragging it out. Do what you're comfortable with. So as of right now, I'm happy with this blend. We're gonna do this eye now. See the difference between blended and not blended? Remember, don't be afraid to push it towards the brow bone. It opens up your eyes and opens up the look a lot. Don't be afraid of that if you want to do that, which is kind of what I'm doing, because it opens up my eyes a lot. Makes my nose look slimmer too. I mean, I have a small nose anyway, but if that's one of your worries, try that out. It really works. So now that I'm happy with that, I'm gonna go back in with that Private Villa shade. Do I have a Private Villa? A mix of Private Villa and Love Struck, and kind of blend out. Mainly on the outer edges. The inner I'm not worried about, the outer. Kind of blend the two together. Lightly go over that just to do a blend and we're good. Now we're gonna go in with another tapered blender, or precision blender. And this is the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH40. It's the same thing as that other Morphe one. But this one's like more precision. We're gonna go in with Secret Lagoon, which is kind of like this bluish, blackish gray. It's not pure black, but we're gonna go with that. And we're gonna define the outer corners a little bit, and then we're gonna go in probably with a mix of a brown to really soften and make it more of a smoky half cut crease. You'll see what I mean. Anytime you do black, make sure to get the excess off, because you're not gonna want that all over your eye and in your face if you have makeup on. But since we don't, we can wipe it away if we need to. But so what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a little V here, slightly fill it in, barely, and we're gonna go back in with the brown, put it on top. The less black you use at first, the better. You don't want a lot. And generally Morphe shadows are pigmented enough so you don't need to put a ton on. Build it slowly. Is the key here. Do not overdo black because you can't take black away. So that's all the black I'm gonna put on. Just gonna blend it a little better right here near my lash line. And we're gonna do the same over here. It's gonna look messy right now. So that's all we're doing. Just that. Make sure to wipe off this on a paper towel, your pants, whatever. And now we're gonna go in with Shady Spot, which is like this warm brown. And then we're just gonna cover the black with that. Now that that's done, put your precision blender down. We're gonna go in with the Laura Lee Los Angeles L18, which is like a flat blender. I don't even know what you would consider this, but we're gonna go in with that. We're gonna go into Vineyard Escape, which is like the slummy purple. Tap off the excess. And we're gonna tap and blend on the outside corner to blend it into your look. To create a smoky look. Slightly wing it out. Slightly, not a lot. You want it to be lighter, but you want it to blend more, so don't be afraid to blend, but don't bring it out a lot. So there's that outer. We're gonna fix this in a second. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So that looks good. Go back in with this guy, the Sigma tapered blender, or any tapered blender you got. Go in and smooth over everything. This is your lifeline. This is your I'm smoothing out everything brush. Don't forget to use this brush. This is what I always use to fix any blending I do. It smooths everything out in like 2 seconds. And I'm actually not getting much fallout on my face. Now that that's done, we're gonna go in with Champagne Chillin', which is like this cool golden shade, shimmer shade. And we're gonna put that in this open space right here. I'm gonna try to do some of it with my finger because shimmer shades for me always work better with the finger, but I have a brush to get in the inner because I have claws, so that ain't happening. Lightly put the finger in here and we're gonna put it on our eye. Oh yeah, that's the color I wanted. Don't be afraid to bring it up more, blend it in, and there's that set. So go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills number 18 brush, which is just that. Dip it in with your brush. You can use setting spray if you want. But we're gonna go with glitter anyway, and Morphe brushes tend to not need Morphe blush. Oh my god. Morphe shimmers tend to not need a wetting to make it show up, so I'm just building the lips, so as you see when I close my eyes you can still see it. Blending it in with the dark. We're gonna do the same over here. Now we're gonna go back in with the precision blender. Doesn't matter which one you want. We're gonna go back in with a mix of the black and the brown. Just build up the outer a little bit more since the shimmer is about on. See how it's fixed. Brought that back in, the darkness. Go back in with the flat packing blender from Laura Lee with that plum shade again. Or Vineyard Escape if you use this palette. And just lightly dust over it again. And tap between the shimmer and the shadow. That way it blends effortlessly like that, and boom. Do the same over here. And V it out a little bit if you want. And there's a look for now. We're gonna touch it up once we get the rest of the face on, but because we obviously can't do the bottoms until the rest is done, and then in case any of this goes, when I put my face on, we're gonna come back and fix that. So let me zoom you out, we're gonna do the face. Let's see how funny it looks when we're away, because look how much more open it makes my face look and drags my eye shape out. Okay, so now that we're zoomed in, we're gonna start on the face. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be spraying my face because I set my face, or I prime my face with setting spray, priming spray, and I finish my face with it because I have really dry skin. I'm just extra with it because I'm so dry, so this is the combo I've found that works for me. I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hylaronic Acid Setting Mist. It's like 12 bucks on ColourPop, so I'm just gonna spray it on my face. There's that one, that's done. I'm gonna go in with my holy grail, which is the Smashbox Primer Water. almost empty. I have to get more. We're gonna spray my face with this as well. This is the one that always works for me because as you can see, it really soaks into your face. And I've bought that time and time again. That's probably like my 6th, 7th, 8th bottle even probably. So I'm gonna move my hair so it doesn't get wet. I'm gonna go in with the Pixi Beauty Glow Mist. I kind of like this one, I kind of don't, but I'm using it up. I will say I don't get this one anywhere near my eyes because this kind of hurts if my eyes are open and it hits it because I'm like, ooh. No. So once this is dry, I'm gonna go in with my Tatcha Silk Canvas Putty Primer. I found a drugstore dupe for this. It's the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. I get the Luminous because that's what I need for my skin because I'm dry, and if you're matte or you combo skin or any of that, go for the normal one, but I want the Luminous because I need all the glow I can get. But I'm almost out of this. This is like my 3rd one, and as you can see, I am using it. It's almost gone, and then once it's gone, I'm sorely gonna be e.l.f. because e.l.f. works the exact same way. I just rub my fingers in it along the edges since I have nails, hence why it's in a circle right now. So I get like that much on my hands, barely any, and I rub it into my T-zone, so my top of my cheeks, my nose, my chin, and my forehead. So I start here, working down, rub it into the side of my nose, or you know, you could get cake up if you wanted it. Bring it down to my smile lines a little bit and out just a little bit. And once I get here, I don't know why I'm getting that line of demarcation, probably from the Pinoy's paint pot. There, all gone. And just pat it in a little bit into your pores. That finally works for me. Go in for more. Do the other side. Get it around my nose. Add it in. Bridge of my nose. All that demarcation is the Pam's paint pot, which is why I don't tend to put it on my nose because that's what it does. I wanted to show you guys that is what it does. I only do this little half moon right here because that's the only spot that I don't want to be dewy. Brush out any remnants you see that didn't get blended in, and we're good. Now that that is done, we're gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in shade 1 Fair Pale. As you can see, I've had this for a while because there's no label left. Only a little bit here. This is almost gone. Like I literally am like scraping the sides of this to get anything out anymore. Using it up, otherwise the one I normally use that I'm loving just as much, which I'll probably get going forward even though I like this, is the Auric Beauty Glow Lust, and I have Morganite. I have the lightest shade. This is normally what I use, but I'm finishing this up because I like this way more. So what I do with the Hollywood Flawless Filter is I put it on the high points of my face, my nose, my chin, top of my forehead, sometimes down here, but I'm not doing that today. People think it's a primer or foundation. It's not. I think it's like a liquid highlighter, but it's for like under your base because it really will pop through your foundation. So that's how I use it. Use it for whatever you want. Makeup is makeup. Now that that's there, blend it with this, the e.l.f. sponge. See just that healthy glow it gives the skin? Now we're gonna go in with my favorite full coverage makeup foundation, you get the point. It's the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation, and I get the shade MN1, which I think is like their not fair, but they're light neutral because I'm not super fair anymore. Like porcelain, I'm like, I was white, now I'm like in the next category of light. I'm gonna take 2 pumps and put it on my sponge, and this normally works for my whole face. So I dab it, dab it, dab it, dab it, dab it, and work on blending. I work on the lower parts of my face and then bring it up because the less coverage you put in your face and your under eyes, the better. These earrings are from Shine. however you want to say it. They're not real, they're like maybe $1 to $3. Because I can't wear a lot of jewelry because my ears are sensitive. It has to be real gold, or the silver I can only get that's stainless steel. Cubic zirconia, my ears will hate you. So you can blend it in so you don't look like you have one color on your face and your neck and body is a different color. I'm obviously tan now because I'm still tan from Florida. My lights are washing me out, so here's the real color, so I'm not that much different than my skin. I'm just blending everything in a little better before I put my concealer on, because obviously my skin is still showing through. So I put a light wash on my forehead. For concealer, I'm going to use the Make Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer in shade C1. You guys know this is my holy grail. I love this stuff. I have a dog hair by my nose, and it just, what I do is I put little baby triangle right here. I put some around the crease of my nose, because as women we get red here. Bridge of the nose, smile lines. That's where I'm dry the most. Chin. We're in for another dunk, not that much. Little triangle at the top of the head. At the bridge of the nose, not up here, just here. Then this little portion right here, which is where we get dark if you don't sleep. I'm the insomniac. So this is what you're gonna look like, but wait till you blend it out. Trust me. I tend to blend everything first before the under eyes. It's just easier because then I can drag it where I need to from my eyes. Don't be afraid to get some on your eyebrows. That helps when you're putting your eyebrows on next. And just bring any excess all over my forehead. Okay, now I work on pulling it down so there's not a lot by my under eye, so that's why I drag and push over. And it just enhances that line that we're gonna enhance again, don't worry. Then I have a little wrinkle that's deep set in my under eye on this side, so I have to really get in there to get it out. And don't worry about that line there. We're gonna fix that with the eyeshadow. So there's this eye compared to this eye and this side of my face. See how this side's more highlighted and dewy and this side's kind of flat? There's a process. Now while my camera was cooling down, I touched up the outer corners a little bit. All I did was I brought the same shadows we were working with, like I did before, and when I was enhancing them, I just enhanced them, so. That's all I did while I was waiting for the camera to cool down. Now, cream bronzer. And what I'm gonna use is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer Stick in Baked. And I put this on my cheeks. A little line. On my nose. Under my lip to build a lip. If you want to have pouty lips without having to overdraw so much, put bronzer underneath and it'll create a shadow. I put on the corners because I have more of a blocky head because I don't have the hair that makes it a circle. I have the more square forehead, so I do that. You can put it on your lower jaw, but I tend to do that with powder bronzer because it's not so defined, so. I don't know why I'm holding my hair up. My hair's up already. Make sure you blend this out, because this will help you with your bronzer when we do the the powdered stuff once we set our face. I do have to hold the baby hairs back. And I tend to do this in the line that I'm doing it on. I don't drag it down and I don't drag it up. I just do it exactly where I'm doing it, but I do drag up a little bit here to accentuate my cheekbone. There's this side finish and that side. See how much of the shadow it gives me, so it builds my cheekbone I have there. There we go. Now what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go in with cream blush. This is the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in Nectar. Put a little dab right here. And a little dab right here. That's all you need. You do not need to go crazy with this. See how pigmented it is? And then I slowly blend up into my eyeshadow. See how effortless that looks? It's just wash color. And whatever's left of my sponge, I go across the bridge of my nose. Because I like that. So, ooh. Did I just fuck up my makeup? Nope. Okay, we're good. We're good. My nail just barely brushed me. Get rid of the wrinkles under your eyes because we're gonna set. This is different than a lot of people. Some people use actual setting powder. I don't. When I was in Florida, I did because my face needed it to stay so it didn't melt away. But up here where I live, I like to just lightly set, and I use the Hourglass Ambient lighting powder and Ethereal light. This is what I use, and as you can see, I'm almost to the end of it. And I'm gonna go in with the Morphe R3. It's a little dome brush, so I just get it all up in this brush, tap, and then gently tap underneath my eye in a triangle, because this helps bring light to that area of my face. Again, whatever's left to put over my nose, because my nose is the driest part of my face. Tap it off the excess, and then the little dome of my forehead. It also helps when I put powder on that I have some powder on my face. The chin, upper lip. I start where my bronzer line is first. Lightly tapping. Now we're actually gonna contour. Actually no, we can finish the eyes now. Normally we're gonna finish the eyes. So what we're gonna do with the Morphe R41, which is like a larger pencil brush. It's not dirty, it's stained. We're gonna go in with Private Villa and Love Struck first, those two pink shades we used. We're gonna put it on the bottom lash line. We're pretty much just gonna put the same colors we put on top on the bottom. Then we're going to go in with Vineyard Escape, that plum color again. We're going to just do the outer portion right here. Don't be afraid to blend it into your top part. Then to make sure everything's blended, I take my tapered blending again. Now, we're gonna do the inner corner. We're gonna use the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH39, which is a little pointer brush. We're gonna go in with the Take Me Back, which is this pure white. We're gonna put it in the inner corner just to lighten up that spot before we highlight. Some people, you can do this if you don't want a blinding highlight there. I like blinding highlight. So we're just gonna put this there, build it up. Put this further under the brow bone to help lift. We'll blend that out in a second. Now that the white's built, we're gonna go in with Windsurf, which is right next to it, and we're gonna put that in our inner corner. Go in. Blend the shades of that away, underneath. And there's our eyes for now. We're gonna do our brows. And what I use for my brows, I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay Brow Blade. Let me zoom in because we're gonna do eyebrows. One side of the brow flick is the pointy, the other side is the pencil. I use the pen side first because I make my little flicks on my eyebrows. So let's get started. I'm pretty much just building my hair up, so I'm making hairlines so you can see the difference. And then I use the pencil for a shape for the most part. But I pretty much just follow my natural line, kind of make more of an arch in my tail. And that's literally all I do. Do your brows how you want to do your brows. There's one with just the pen. Get closer so you can see it. It's literally just little brow flicks. Brow pen, now we're using the brow pencil. So like all I do is just enhance it a little bit. Some people think it's more blocky. My eyebrows are thick but they're just blonde so you can't see them. So now that they're a darker color, you can see them. Now we're gonna go into Anastasia Beverly Hills in taupe. That's what I'm using. So when my eyes are dark, I put a lighter color on to make it look more natural. Thick brow. I trimmed my eyebrows yesterday. We're just in some blondie hues in here. So there's that eyebrow compared to this eyebrow. Brows are done. And now to bronze slash contour, we're going in with the Kat Von D. It's now KV Beauty. It's just, I've had this for so long. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. And the shades I use are these two. This is what I bronze with. This is what I contour with. To contour, we are going into the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH4 brush. It's like a domed little bronzer brush, blush brush. I use it for contour because I use a different one. We're gonna go in with this lightest shade. Not lightest, but the lightest of these in the cooler tone, brown. And we're gonna go in and contour just underneath where we're gonna bronze. So right where I had that line, we're gonna do that. We're just lightly gonna do it. Going in small circular motions to blend it into the skin. I don't do a lot because I just want the shadow. So that's all I'm doing. As you can tell, look at this definition compared to this side. Tap off excess and do the same to the other side. Make sure the sides match. And there's contour. Now I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Los Angeles L13. It's just a domed bronzer brush. And I'm gonna go in with the warmer, this guy. Tap off the excess and bronze. I bring the bronzer pretty much anywhere I want because it's warming up your face. I just bring it above the shadow, a little over the shadow, and blend up in small circular motions. So there's this side to this side. See the difference? And do the same on the other side. Tap where you missed. And then we're gonna do light halo around the forehead. You don't need a lot since I'm just pretty much doing it where I'm square. I'm just making my face look more round with bronzer. And then the nose. Down the side, right here, slightly over, under the lip. And now the jawline. I'm just doing a piss poor job down here, but I'm gonna go in with a bigger brush to do this. I'm just laying the groundwork, so say that bye-bye to that brush. Now we're gonna use the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH2. It's a giant domed, kind of like fan bronzer brush. This is how I'm gonna bronze my neck. And there. Then if you want, you can even go over. Just make sure everything's blended nice. I'm gonna tap over my nose. So there's the bronzer. Look how much better and more shaped out my face is and warmer. Now for blush, we're gonna go into the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism palette. And we're gonna go in with this more pink shade, which is Pink Moon. Like a cool tone pink. That's what we're going in with. And for that, we're gonna use the L'Oreal Los Angeles L12 brush. Like a small domed blush brush. Gonna tap into it. Tap some off because Mandy said it's pigmented. And we're just tapping it on the apples of our cheeks and moving up just slightly. Don't be afraid to layer up. Blush is the first thing to wear off. For me, my skin eats it. And see, you got a cute little wash of color. I just want a little bit more. Go over the bridge of the nose if you want a sun-kissed thing. I do the tip of my nose too. Kind There's that. Sometimes I'll even blend up here on the corners just to tie in the rest of my face and my chin. There's that with the blush. Next, normally before I put foundation, or after I put foundation and all my cream stuff on, I'll put like a cream highlight on, which is my ColourPop Flexatarian Super Shock Cheek Highlighter from ColourPop. But since I didn't do that today because I already had my Hollywood Floss filter on, I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. And I use these two shades, which is Forever Young and Glow Getter. I'm gonna mix those with the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH09 highlighting brush. It's like a fluffy highlighter brush. So all I do is go between the two, tap off, and I highlight. Now, I ain't afraid to glow. Put whatever you want, how much you want, but I put it on the high points of my face, which is my cheekbones, my nose, my lip, my chin, this side, and right above my brow bone. It's pretty much wherever the sun would naturally hit you and highlight your face is what you glow by, but I like to glow. The more glow, the better, in my opinion, for me. Do whatever you want to do. Makeup is makeup. Make sure it's cohesive. I lightly go over with my damp beauty sponge to make it look more skin-like. And look what that did. So now, I'm going to spray my face to set all the dry stuff I put on. So we're going in with the same three, so the ColourPop, the Smashbox, and the Pixi. And we're going to let that dry. I have a fan, but since I'm dry, I just use my hand a little bit. Let that dry a little bit, and then we're going to do some fun stuff with eyes like glitter, eyeliner, your waterline liner. We're gonna put lashes on, mascara, and then we're gonna do lips. For my waterline, I'm gonna go in with the Sephora Contour Crayon in black lace. Waterproof, 12-hour wear, so this is going to my waterline. And then we're gonna tight line, so your upper waterline, your upper lash line, but underneath. So I hate doing it. Okay, while the camera was cooling down again, I just did my waterline on both my eyes and the upper. So that's done. So now we're gonna go in with the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter in Midnight Cowboy. Alright, just gonna put that where we put the shimmer. Not a lot of it, but we're gonna put glitter there to merely make it pop. So we're just gonna lightly layer some glitter. Okay, so there's one eye. See how much more of a pop it does than the other side? There's both sides. And what you can do to kind of blend, just tap in the middle where they meet the shadow, and it blends effortlessly. All you gotta do is keep your eyes slightly open and fan them to dry the glitter. I mean, I put it above where it's gonna hit anyway, so, but just so it doesn't crease anymore, let it dry before we continue. This side's mostly dry, this side's still dry. I just got my little fan from Amazon. Now we're going to continue. I'm going to go in with the ColourPop liquid liner in black, or it's just a felt tip. And I'm just going to line the top of my eyes for lashes, and we'll move on to that step next. So. there's one eye compared to the other eye, and there's the other eye. And now, the lashes I'm going to be using is the House of Lashes, the Classic Collection Siren. Are the beauties I'm using. I've never worn them before, so I'm curious to see how they look. And to put them on, I'm using the Duo Lash Glue with the vitamins, so it's the green bottle black top, but it's clear. I'm never using the black stuff. That shit is terrible. And to curl my lashes, I'm using the Tarte eyelash curler. I've had this for like 5 years now, and it came with a kit with the lash applicator from Tarte, so let's curl some lashes. Lashes are curled. Now the trick I do, because some people put the lash glue directly on the lash and then put the lash on their eye, that never works out well with me with placement, so I put lash glue on one eye, on just by the liner by my lashes, and then I go on the lash. But first, I gotta take these out, measure them, cut them if I need to, and bend them so they fit my eye. Let's do that. These are actually really cute. Well, this never happens. They fit my eye shape perfectly. That works. I don't need the scissor, like at all. So let's put some lash glue on and let's get started putting these on. Now that I got that line of lash glue on, I gotta let it dry a little bit before I can put the one that's ready and waiting on it. I'm just gonna bend these to get them in line to be put on my eyeball because I have a more rounded eye shape. And we're gonna put these puppies on. Pretty much you just wanna wait till the lash glue doesn't look so shiny, where it looks tacky, and that's when you put them on. So about now, you wanna start putting them on. So I'm gonna do that right now. Easiest way is to get the middle secured first, and then you can do the edges. And with this, I'm just pinching them together so they blend with my eyelashes. There's one set on and not on. I just gotta put mascara on to blend my lashes with it. You can see it, but perfect fit. Now to do the other side. Lash glue is on, letting that dry, and then we'll put the next lash on. I really like these lashes. I might have to wear these for my wedding. I've never tried them before. I really like them. They're fluttery, but they're not too big. Okay, lashes are on. These are so pretty. I like them. So now we're gonna zoom out. We gotta put the mascara on. And the one I'm using is the Essence Volume Stylist, which is a curl and hold, the more volumizing. That is the wand. I like it, works really well. So all I'm gonna do is blend my lashes in with this, slightly do the bottom, not even, because mine transfer no matter what mascara I use. So we're gonna do that right now. So just so you can see the difference, blended, not blended. There, now as you can see, I barely did my bottoms, and to help with that, I'm going underneath to knock any loose off so I don't get any mascara trails down there. And there's the eyes. Knock the loose clumps off the top of these. So what I do, the combo we're going for is the Kylie Cosmetics Lip Kit in Candy K. It's like a peachy pink nude, pretty much. So I'm gonna line my lips. Here's this. I'm gonna slightly overline the top, not the bottom. I got a pouty bottom lip. I just want to lightly overline the top. So there's the bottom, just to find it. Here's one side. And there's the other. That's all I'm doing for overlining. So if you look, it's not really overlining that much because my lip is right there at the bottom and I just slightly rounded the outsides. And then I just went above my bow. So my lips without having to pay to get lip injections. And we go from that to this. This is the final look. Thank you guys for watching. It's not that hard, it really isn't, but this is my full face that I'm gonna do for the rehearsal dinner today. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for patiently waiting for a makeup tutorial from me, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks guys. Make sure to like and subscribe down below to make sure you see my upcoming videos. Now that I got one makeup tutorial done, you'll get plenty more coming forward. So thank you guys and have a great evening or day or morning or whenever you watch this. Thanks.